You've been told it takes months to launch a clothing brand, and for the average person it does, but I did it in 36 hours, and in this video I'm going to show you the exact shortcuts that made it possible and the mistakes you'll want to avoid when starting your own brand. We pulled this off in 36 hours.
It's probably even a bit like less than 36, to be honest. So we're just going to quickly discuss and pretty much paint the picture for you guys of what happened, when it happened, how it happened, and who it was involved with. Basically.
Yeah. Monday, we had 0 designs, no blanks, no printers. The most was about a mood board with some initial concepts.
Yeah. A few visualizations of the environment, a few kind of inspo garments as well.
So I have this buddy in Melbourne. His name's Chris. I call up Chris and I'm like, bro, come Wednesday night, we need products in hand. We haven't even got designs yet. Is this possible? And Chris says to me, well, technically, naturally speaking, absolutely not. But look, Elijah, we're going to figure out how to make it work.
Yeah, which we loved. And I remember Elijah calling me like, Chris is able to clutch up for us. Like, we can do this, but we need designs to him essentially in the next 24 hours.
I said to Casper, I was like, this is the timeline that Chris has laid out for us. We need finalized designs ready to print latest lunchtime Wednesday. What was your emotional state at that point?
I won't swear, but I was like, we gotta hustle. We gotta hustle in a good way though. Like, I was excited for the challenge, but I didn't think it would go as perfectly as it did. I think that's the best way to look at it. So from that initial mood board concept, we also didn't have a brand name at this point as well. just to paint the picture, it's not even that we didn't have designs. We didn't know what this was called or what to include in these designs. I was like, who do I trust enough for this to happen and to like understand this vision, and also who can get it done in this time? And reach out to my really good primary school friend Ben, House of Orange. We basically gave him 10 different concepts by, we probably gave it to him on Tuesday morning at this point, and we were like, can these be done today, essentially?
Meanwhile, I went back to Chris and was like, here are the blanks we want, put in the order so that, and we still don't know what we're printing yet, but when we do know what we're printing, we'll have blanks to print them on.
Yeah.
And so he goes to Colorplane, shout out Colorplane, they come through. Most new brand owners blow thousands on big factory orders, wait for months, and end up with boxes of unsold tees sitting in the garage. But your first drop isn't about bulk. It's about speed, getting something out fast to test, build awareness, and create content. So here are the 3 things that we did that you can copy to launch a product quick. Number 1, instead of hitting factories in China, do a simple Google search for a local t-shirt printer. Think of it like going to Amazon versus your neighborhood tailor. Amazon will treat you just like another order number. The tailor knows your name and they work fast and they adjust as you go. And so you're looking for the small mom and pop shop with just a couple of people running it. Number 2, reach out directly, not via some kind of type form. And this means to send a DM, or even better, get on the phone, because building that relationship gives you shorter lead times, more control, and better deals on your very first drop. And then finally, number 3, don't get so attached to making everything so custom on your first drop. Instead, use local blanks. And now I'm not talking about some cheap polyester crap. I mean high quality cotton t-shirts with no design that you can put your logo or design on. These companies have already done the hard work for you of measuring and sampling, refining to create a shape that people want. And while you're on the phone with your printer, you can even ask what partnerships they may have with local blank companies. And then it brings us to Tuesday.
So we ordered the blanks Tuesday at 8:34 a.m. So Elijah's rolled out of bed and just pretty much hustled and gone, this is what's happening. Chris, make it happen. And Chris made it happen. And then it was a matter of us coming together Tuesday morning, and we submitted our design concepts we wanted illustrated by Ben at 2:20 p.m. on Tuesday, in which I was asleep for this, but Ben submitted his sketches to us at 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday night.
As soon as I saw these concepts, I screenshotted my top 5 favorites. I put out out an Instagram story. This was the initial testing we were going to do to then go on and determine which one we were going to pick. I put it out on my story, put some polls out, and I ask my audience, which ones are your favorites?
Yeah. And I remember I woke up Wednesday morning and in my head, there was literally the first thing I'm like, have we got these designs? And I look and there's notifications from Elijah and Ben. I'm like, cool. And I looked at the designs. I'm like, even cooler. Like these are perfect.
They were sick.
These are perfect for what, like everything, like overdid, just over delivered for sure. It was pretty clear to us that there was 3 top designs and that was submitted at 8 a.m. for Ben to digitize them.
Yep.
Basically. So we had the handwritten sketches from Ben. It was about 10 concepts and then we were like, okay, Ben, can you put these and digitize them so we can play around with them on Illustrator basically to do mock-ups and everything like that.
And then once we got those digitized versions of that top 3, I then put out a second poll on the Superfan free community, which is such a fantastic space for any brand owner who's trying to get feedback on products and says, I don't have an audience to test on, or I don't even have people around me that give me good enough opinions on my products. There's no excuse because any brand owner can join Superfan free. It's in the name. It's free. Yeah. Put out a post, leave some screenshots of your designs or some photos, ask for feedback.
Cool building point, hey?
Exactly. And I got, I think, 27 odd votes, which was enough to just see which of those top 3 designs we had picked was going to be our winner. A lot of new brand owners make the mistake of doing everything themselves, but that's exactly why their first drop drags on for 6 months or more. Because imagine this, you spend half a year redrawing logos, testing designs, and by the time your first hoodie is ready, you could have been planning drop 2. Or maybe you don't have to imagine it because for some of you, this is the reality. But what is the solution? Well, it's to outsource. Ask for help. Let's do a simple search on a site like Fiverr for t-shirt design. And look, you can get someone to design your products for the price of lunch on a Tuesday afternoon. Okay, but what does this mean for you? Well, after you've drawn some mock-ups, you can hand them off to someone on Fiverr and focus on getting everything else ready for your drop instead. And when time is money, it's the best dollars you'll ever spend.
We submitted it to Ben at 8 a.m. to get digitized. He whipped these up and submitted the graphic at 9:15 a.m. There's a handwritten text on the back of the tee. And we had this concept and Ben kind of forgot about it because we were just like spamming him so much basically. He was on his way somewhere, drove back to do the handwritten thing that matched the front design at 10:01.
Oh my goodness.
So we've got from no data to digitizing to, finalized graphics in a 2-hour time frame.
Oh my goodness.
In a 2-hour time frame. And then 9:15 we had already had the front graphics digitized till about 10:45. I basically had to create as many color mock-ups of the design itself. We knew the blanks we were using to see what color, what hex code, and essentially which Pantone we're going to be using to therefore give to the screen printer. And that was just a matter of just like doing as many as possible in this hour and a half time to pick something we weren't going to regret.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to make an easy process for Chris and his printing team at Cherry Studios. I've just printed out our little graphic design in like a real life size, and I luckily enough had some color plane blanks at home. So I could cut it out, I can put it on a t-shirt and just measure it and see how it looks and how far is it from the top, placement. How far is it from the side, where are we putting these different graphics on the t-shirt.
So that was at 1:28 p.m. So from 8 a.m. to 1:28 p.m. in that 5-hour span, we've gone from handwritten sketch to finalized mock-up and tech pack.
And already a film in the Cherry Studios floor.
Ready to go. This is just a bit of a quick rapid fire time frame of Chris's timeline for the context of his day. So he arrives at work, the blanks are there on the day, which is great. He was already doing jobs at like 6 a.m. and messaging us at like, I think 5:30 was one of his responses. He was like, this is great, this keeps me on my toes. I'm like, you are a madman, bro. He then finished a printing job at 5 p.m, which he messaged us and was like, oh, Casper, me, what time do you need the garments? Like, what time do you fly to Brisbane? I'm going to do them in the morning. In which I was like, brother, we need them tonight. And he decided it was going to go through it that night at 5:20 p.m.
Starting at 5:20 p.m.
True. And then from that, we were like, great, he's working on this. Like, this is maybe going to happen. And he hits us up at like 7:45 and goes, sorry guys, got caught up with a client. I had to chat to him for a couple hours. I haven't even started yet. And I was like, this is at that point, I was like, it's not gonna happen. Like, maybe we'll get him sent up and hope
they come in time
on like a Saturday. I'm leaving Saturday, so I was like, nah. And then he goes, he just hit us with, here's what we're gonna do. I'm about to print the films. They need to dry for 15-20. I'll burn the screen. That will need to dry for an hour. Then I'll set up the print, probably 1 to 2 hours to get finished. So he didn't start work until 8:40 p.m. and he actually hustled and had got it done by like 10. I don't know how that timeline works, but the screens are already done. I was like, bro, he lives an hour away. It's like, I'll pay for an Uber to get him delivered because I was packing to get here. And he's like, nah, bro, I just hit an energy drink. I'll drop him off. I'll let you know when I'm at the ETA. It's like, dude, what are you talking? I literally was like, no, you've done more than enough.
The amount of stuff this guy has done for us at this point,
like
off the charts.
All favors of all time, and like all time. And then he dropped them off at my crib, like door-to-door service. It was super nice coming on the plane, reflecting, and obviously it was crazy that we were able to get this done. And obviously we did work hard on it to make it kind of happen, but working with really good people to just create something for the enjoyment and like it being a special project, you know what I mean, and people kind of being invested in that process too. Neither of them owed us anything.
Nothing. It's really made me reflect on the real purpose of business. And I think guys like Chris and guys like Ben, they understand that we do this for the love of it. And like, kindness is the craziest business strategy too, because let me just tell you, in my books, they have won every referral ever.
And if you're watching starting a brand, having the ability to open yourself up to connect with like-minded people is something you'll never regret if you give this a crack.
Yeah.
And obviously don't do it just to try and meet people, but subsequently you will meet some amazing people that will literally change the trajectory of your life.
Absolutely. And I think that truth is lost in this how to make 30K a month with a clothing brand. It misses the point that money is more of a means to an end. And I think that what's been revealed in this experience, these connections, these relationships, even with the whole messaging of the brand, there's so much fullness and completeness in it. Thursday, so you came up to Brisbane, you landed,
yeah, true,
and then revealed these masterpieces. We've got this wonderful graphic designed by Ben here on the front, and then we've got Ben's very handwriting on the back saying accidentally tradition, which I think ties in beautifully with the brand as these third spaces, these third homes, these communities that people are building,
and things that aren't perfect.
Things that aren't perfect, hence handwritten, become accidental tradition. It's like we started doing this and all of a sudden it became a weekly tradition because we waited for this. And I think this started as, let's make a cool video series demonstrating how to make a brand. This ended as, bro, this beautiful garment, and more so,
I'm going to be repping this in Euro, baby.
And more so the story that this represents that's so meaningful to both you and I.
A lot of people's creativity when doing clothing is now like panel setups.
Yes.
You know what I mean? As their distinguishing selling piece, which is great, but the storytelling aspect can sometimes get lost within that as well.
Because their designs are so cool. They're almost too cool for their own
It'd
good.
be too complicated otherwise, right? Like if you're trying to do too much. So like, it's not a shade on brand owners at all.
No.
But it's so simplistic. Everything about it is kind of simplistic when you look at it. But when you go on the deeper level, and then like obviously if you've watched this series kind of back of what we've created, there truly is like a connection that kind of can be made with just a simple piece of ink and cotton, which is random. So
that's wild. Well said, my friend.
Yeah,
well said.
It's dope.
Well said. So now you've seen exactly how we went from no plan to products in hand in just under 36 hours. But if you don't do the work to build a community beforehand, you won't have anyone to sell to. So watch the video on screen next where I do a deep dive into how the brand Cortez uses content to build a cult-like following. Follow these steps and I promise you will be too in no time. I'll see you over there. Click the video.